Hello, good afternoon. This is Lady Court with Lady Court Tales. I just wanted to do a quick video on, you know, possibly having problems in the future in this country. We have a lot of going on with a accidental tsunami warning in Alaska. Another accident, like the one in Hawaii, where they said something nuclear was coming in. We have a release on a EMP commission, electromagnetic pulse, which would put out the power grid wherever it is centralized, or it could be across the United States completely, showing how we are vulnerable to that, and that it would take us back to the 1800s as far as living capabilities. And of course, if you take a country that's, supposedly as advanced, and I put that in quotes, as ours, with air conditioning and all the modern technology, most people wouldn't know what to do. Most would not survive, unfortunately. You need to start doing your research as to what you need in case of an emergency. Now, in the case of an EMP attack, they said the power grid could be down for a year. That's a long time, ladies and gentlemen, if something like that were to happen. Now, in my area of the country, we prepare for hurricanes, which is at least 2 weeks. You should have sufficient supplies. Let me just make some suggestions that you should have on hand. You should have a water filtration system. There's also a way that you can look up on how to do one yourself. Have charcoal on hand, you will need it. All the other supplies you could easily find in your household. Much better done with a liter bottle, like soft drink liter bottle. Have an empty one on hand. But look up the video and learn how to do it yourself, just in case. And have charcoal on hand, which you can make charcoal from leftover embers and things of a fire, but most people don't even know how to do that. You should have a fire starter, and I'm talking about the old-fashioned way, because lighters and things will eventually run out. The old flint system. So have one of those, a water filtration system if you can, tools that you will need. Harbor Freight. I don't know about this country, but Harbor Freight is a cheap place to go. Always a 20% discount. Ask for it. Have medicine on hand. There are certain medicines that you can buy at a animal store that will substitute for things like penicillin. It's called Phlox. I'm not sure exactly. I'm going to have to go look that up because that's one thing I do need to add. Over-the-counter medications, bandages, sutures, things like that. Videos are available right now. Take advantage of them. Learn as much as you possibly can on first aid and what you can do to make people more comfortable or survive. I know this sounds like, end times, dystopia, after the great calamity, but none of this is stupid to have on hand, just in case. Because we are vulnerable. Our energy grid has not been fortified and protected, so it can easily go down. Also, everybody says to have the military packets that last 25 years on the shelves or whatever, but a cheap way to do it is rice and beans. Rice and beans. Those are cheap things to have on handy. Dried beans. And will sustain you. Also learn about your area and what's edible. Have some form of protection for hunting and initially, because eventually you'll run out of ammunition. Learn how to fish. Those things are always good to do and have. I mean, fishing's very relaxing, and you can have fresh meat, even if nothing were to happen. So, this is just a video to let you know that a lot of this is being somehow coming up in the news, and they're having a drill in Wisconsin about what this, what could possibly be done and what could happen if the grid were to go down. And drills. I don't like to see drills because usually right after drills something does happen. In this case, I hope not. But for yourself and for your children, especially in your city areas, you need to be prepared for anything that were to go wrong, and to be able to protect your children and your family for as long as possible, and hopefully come out the other end relatively unscathed. I'm just putting this out as a public service announcement. I'm not making any predictions on anything, but when they start pushing stuff on the news and mentioning things that could possibly happen, it makes me a little nervous, because we know they aren't to be trusted in the media. And y'all have a good day.